What's up, everybody? Severance is back. Severance is officially back. The first episode of season 2, it was kind of a build-up. It was kind of a setup to get things going. But this episode, episode 2 of season 2, we're picking up right off of that finale from season 1. And on top of that, they had the opening theme. So I'm happy because I absolutely love Severance's opening theme. If I had to make a swimming analogy, last episode was like dipping our toes back into the pool. This episode, we're diving right back in. The episode starts off with Mark S., his Audi, waking back up to let us know where we're at time-wise. And then it immediately jumps to Helly R., Helena Egan. And she is in a conference room with none other than Miss Cobel. And we all know what Selvig/Cobel did in the finale of season 1. If it wasn't for her, Lumon wouldn't have found any of this out. Mark S., Helly, Irving, Dylan, all of them, their plan would have gone through without a hitch. For the most part, at least. So Helena Egan, Helly R's Audi counterpart, is having a meeting with Miss Cobel, thanking her for what she did. And because of that, Helena offered her a position to head the Severance Advisory Council. And Miss Cobel immediately picked up on it. She was like, hey, I did a good job, all right? I would best service Lumon if you put me back as manager on the Severance floor. And Helena was like, I'm sorry, we gave that to Mr. Milchick. But I'm giving you this position, a promotion to head a new department, a brand new department, because Miss Cobel was like, I've never heard of this before. Honestly, I think they're just trying to silence her. I really do. I think they're trying to bribe her. I don't think they don't want her back. Okay, but they know they need to control her. So we're gonna make up this brand new division, and you're gonna head it. We don't want you on the Severance floor anymore. So here's a way to deal with you. And the reason I think that is because Miss Cobel told Mark to quit. Remember at the end of season 1, she told Mark S. to quit Lumon. Mark was thinking about it. Mark told her, hey, I might be thinking about finding a new job, leaving Lumon, and she was like, yeah, do it. Yeah, Miss Cobel, she's kind of weird, dude. Especially you see at the end of this episode, she's kind of weird. She handles things differently, okay? But I really do think she does have a soft spot for Mark. Yeah, she's manipulated him, but I do think she is kind of looking out for him in some ways. So she was kind of nudging him to leave Lumon because she knows Lumon isn't that great of a place, especially for the severed workers. And that's why I think Lumon is trying to silence Miss Cobel. Just put her in her box. Hey, you got your promotion. You stay over there. It doesn't mean anything. Because, as we find out later in the episode, they need Mark S. to complete Cold Harbor. I have no clue what that means. But whatever it is, it's important to Lumon. And they need Mark S. to complete it. So much so that they fired the entire team that they built up in episode 1. Lumon does not care about Mark S. or his team. Their goal is to control the narrative. From day 1, they've been controlling the narrative. Remember in episode 1 where they were showed this orientation video of what they did in the finale of season 1, showing that they were heroes, that they were the Lumon whistleblowers? Yeah. They weren't trying to control the narrative of the outside. That was just to control the narrative of the severed workers, because guess what? Lumon has been lying the entire time. They're not whistleblowers. They're not heroes. Nobody knows what happened on the outside. That entire presentation, that video, was manipulation. None of it was true. Irving, Dylan, and Helly R did not refuse to come back. They were fired. Well, Helly R is Helena Egan, okay? So that's a completely different situation. Irving and Dylan were fired. They didn't refuse to come back after what happened. And because they were fired, Mr. Milchick had to find a brand new team. And that's what we saw in episode 1. That's what that whole ordeal was. And the reason they didn't fire Mark S. is because they need him. They need him to finish Cold Harbor, whatever that is. Interestingly enough, for some reason, they don't need Dylan or Irving. They need Mark S. So there's something about Mark S. that he's the only one that can finish Cold Harbor. And as of right now, that's a mystery still to be uncovered. All right, let's take a few steps back. So Mr. Milchick fires Irving and Dylan. So now they're out looking for jobs. In the meantime, he is literally manipulating Mark S. to come back. Emotionally manipulating this guy. He's like, do you remember the reason why you wanted to be a severed worker? Do you remember that pain you were going through? Well, guess what? Your innie is happy. He's found love. And that solace will make its way to you in time. You just need to give it time. You're hurting right now. But let the feelings, let the emotions of your innie transfer over to you when he leaves work. You know, because he's going to feel a certain way. And when he leaves work, you're going to feel leaving that way. And over time, you'll be able to process these emotions, get over Gemma and all that stuff. He's literally emotionally manipulating him to come back to work. Here, I thought Mark S's innie and Audi were kind of maybe somewhat on the same page. Because in the finale, Mark S's innie was like, she's alive, she's alive, she's alive. So, okay, the news is out. Gemma is alive. Gemma is Miss Casey. And she's alive because, you know, Mark S's sister is going to have a conversation with him and, you know, they're going to figure it out. And that's why he decided to come back, to find his wife. No, that's not why Mark S's Audi came back. Mark S's Audi came back for the exact same reason he joined the Severed program to begin with. Mark S's innie, though, is on a mission to find her. His Audi, he still can't wrap his head around the idea that Gemma is alive. He doesn't want to even deal with it. His sister and him went to the diner and she was, you know, like, maybe we got to look into this more because, I mean, she's the one who had the conversation with Mark's innie, right? So she has that firsthand experience. Mark, his Audi just came back out of nowhere and is caught up in all of this. And so it's hard to process. And he's like, I buried her. I had to deal with all those emotions. I had to go and talk to her family. And you want me to dive back into this again? She's gone. But the seed has been planted. The doubts are starting to grow. And he confronts Miss Cobel about this. Do you know anything about Gemma? And Miss Cobel freaks out in her car and drives off. So, I mean, that's a red flag right there. She obviously knows something. Mark obviously, I mean, if he has any ounce of common sense, he's like, okay, yo, she knows something. Okay, there's something going on. I need to dig into this further. So just like that, Severance is back. We're getting deeper into the mystery. The crazy thing to me is, what's so special about Mark S? Why do they need him for this cold harbor? Like, they literally fired the entire team. And because Mark S in the last episode went to the board and said, I need my old team back. Mr. Milchek went to the old team, rounded them back up, literally said, Helena, Egan, you got to come back. You got to come back to work. Helena Egan is honestly kind of curious about this whole thing too. You saw the video, you saw her watching Helly R and Mark S kiss. She's probably kind of infatuated by it. I mean, she doesn't seem like she's in a relationship in real life, and her Audi is. I mean, she's so busy with the business and all that. And now here, she's getting to experience something that she hasn't experienced in her own personal life. I'm curious if what Mr. Milchek said to Mark S is kind of true, where the emotions will transfer over to the Audi, from the innie to the Audi. Is she kind of feeling something, or will she feel something? I'm kind of curious about that too. But what is this cold harbor? What's so special about Mark S? It's fun, dude. This show is fun. A lot of questions, man. That's why I like it. It keeps you intrigued. The characters are cool. The music is cool. Overall, man, this show is honestly one of my favorite shows. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What did you guys think about Severance Season 2, Episode 2? I think it was definitely a step up above Episode 1. We're back. We're literally, Severance is back. We're back at it. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And I'll see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.